I just, we've been on this journey together for.
You're welcome to the Portland Liberia discussions tonight. A beautiful Friday evening here. Today is the 12th of the 12th month, and the year is 2025. So it's 12 12 25. 12 12 25. It's a good number. But let me say welcome to you, my colleague Paul the Lord Chirople. Welcome to the show. This beautiful 12th day of December 2025. And today is Friday, and so it's the weekend. We want to welcome also our viewers, wherever you are joining us. We say welcome. We are back here again with another exciting edition of the program, the Bottom Line Liberia discussions. And indeed, tonight is going to be fiery. There's a lot on the plate to discuss from the way and home. And so stay tuned with us. All you need to do is share the show, invite a friend, and then we can have fruitful discussion. Let me say welcome to you, Paul.
Yeah, good evening. Linford, it's good to be back on the bottom line discussion. I just want to say, thank God to be on money living, and I'm happy to be in paradise. If you can hear my voice, there's some flu that's going around Europe, especially in the UK. Every now and then, I mean, today in the hospital, they have over million plus people for the flu that is going around. So I don't know what is happening, but as we have here, I'm pleased to be among the living. How your end?
Well, my end is good. We in the snow, and luckily for us, of course, the kind of cold, the flu you're talking about is almost around here. Some people, I heard in my small town, I heard few cases of coronavirus, but I don't think people are taking this serious because everybody knows exactly what to do now. If anybody's down, all you need to do quarantine yourself, stay away, and stuff like that. So we really do not have any major case of any flu. I mean, normally this time of the year, from the summer, so-called summer, to the fall, and then from the fall to the snow, you know, people normally have this thing. But I can tell you that all is well, except that the snow is killing us, and it's not been very cold a few times because when it's snowing profusely, it's not cold. So every time there is a downpour of snow, we know it's not going to be cold. But normally we have the white Christmas in Norway, so we are preparing for that. It's going to be enough snow, and I can suspect because normally between Christmas or around Christmas up to New Year is the coolest time in Norway. It's going to be cold. So since the snow is falling, it's going to stop, and then when we pick up for the cool, man, forget it. We leave our own with the heat. But let me say also that Pat Maurice Dollar will be joining us later on during the course of the show. Our colleague Francis Mensah is away, and also Jamal Kamara is on engagement. So the three of us will be here to provide you the much needed information that you need. And just in case you're joining us for the first time, we want to say welcome to you. And for those of you who are here all of the time, we also want to say welcome to you, and make this place your home. And tonight, we'll ask Paul to just drive us through, and then we'll take a musical break. And when we come back, we'll go directly into what we'll be discussing tonight. So, Paul, what's on our plate?
Well, thank you, Linford. So now we'll be looking at the former Uruguay president who are at the age of 80, 81, 82, served his country with extension that he was not corrupt. We'll be comparing him with our own president, Joseph Numa Barca, and other African leaders. We'll also be looking at efforts, the role efforts are played in the the attempted coup in Benin. The story now behind is that Macron was the main instigator behind that sabotage. So why is a coup around West Africa? What is the West African leaders are doing that people are not happy with? So be looking at that. And then we'll also be looking at this is situation in Liberia with drugs regarding Bucky Raw, the star, what led to his arrest and release. So we'll be diving into that. But then also, the Beniku will be listening to Josh Galloway, the guy who run this show. They call it mother of all talk shows. He has a say on that situation with Macron and Tinubu. So that's the topic for tonight.
Thank you very much, Paul. And let's welcome to Mr. Maurice Dolly. Welcome. You are muted.
Okay. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here tonight. I'm just glad to be with you guys so we can share whatever little knowledge we have with our people. I hope whatever we discuss here, people back home will take some sense in it and utilize it. So we are here. This is the bottom line. How we see things and how we tell you. You either like it or you leave it. That's a business. But we will tell you the truth. We are not here to sugarcoat anything with anybody. That make a better line. So glad to be with you guys then tonight. We'll discuss about the turning issues in our country and also around the world. Whatever Mr. Chilope got to tell us concerning about international news, he will bring it out so we can have discuss it how best we can. Thank you very much for being here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Maurice Dolly. Together we'll be here discussing the issues. And again, let me say welcome to our viewers. No, listen, if you're here for the first time, make this place your home. Here is where we have all the truth coming up. We'll say it as it is, like you heard from Mr. Dolly. We'll say it as it is. We will never ever sugarcoat anything and we'll not lie. That's a good thing that we do. So we're gonna play you a very interesting music. And after that music, we'll be coming back. And this music is for the old boys.
HotLBR.com,
HotLBR.com.
exclusive from HotLBR.com.
If you marry, your trouble really begins. If you marry brave woman, every day Pambata will let it to Tabatu. If you marry Baza woman, every day full money, Tonika Muliari, Chinika Bonnie Monkey, you play that of you. If you marry Buza woman, every day Tobogi, Rawanika Naya. If you marry Vow, every day, Pasayama and Japan Lafao. So, I put your work down my pull away. Now, look at your way, back in one. If you marry Gizzy woman, she was shopping your little teeth. Some put on face like ninjas. When we got to know them in reality, I was in a little devil. If you marry a woman, every day trouble, darling, by my issues, and my little father. So ya put your work down my prayer. If you marry man or woman here in the morning, if you marry a woman, call it over you. If you marry a woman here, every day fire go.
This is the bottom line, Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio. This is the bottom line, Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio.
If you marry any woman here, this is the bottom line discussion. That was the music from the old days. Padori can tell who made that music.
Yes, is the old man here, man, who used to be singing basanamas, all this kind of stuff and things.
Well, his name is James Topo.
Jim Dobo, he's the one that sing that song.
James Topo.
Yeah, who's Dobo? He's the one that sing that song.
And
No,
I think it's the same man who did it.
Just passed recently, not too long ago.
Oh, not too long ago. He's the same man that made the music. Kasari now for
Yeah, go alone. Yeah.
Go Alone.
It's never
But you
go
see,
alone. Yeah.
And God, okay, let me welcome Francis Mensah very quickly. Francis, thanks for coming. I already told the audience that you were going to be away, but I think that was to hold you back to the show. So welcome.
No, I'll definitely I'm trying to sit with myself, trying to find the best place from Studio A to Studio B. All these studios are being occupied by the kids, so you have to move around.
I know. I can picture that. But it's good that you are here, Francis, and it's good that our audience will be here to actually grasp what we'll be talking about. But talking about this music, I remember Paul. I think the closest person I can get to here is Paul because we live in the same area and he knows what I'm talking about. But Padoli was a little bit above there. But Paul, well, in the 70s, right? They used to have this ABC record store down on the other side, where on the other side where the national, the
Oh, see a bank.
is, yes. So they used to sponsor a show on ELBC. I remember well. I think from every 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock or
About 12 o'clock. Yeah.
yeah, they will play all the Liberian music, and that was for us. That was our time for those of us coming from morning school. Then the other people that going to afternoon school.
Afternoon school. Oh, you smart. That took my mind.
So you see, Liberia was a great place years back, man. And I don't know, guys. 1, 2, 3, the three of you. Somebody tell me, can Liberia regain its status, or is it going to be better than what we saw?
Yes.
Let's start with that discussion.
Yes. It's possible.
Padori, I think you need to bring your hair also. We can't see your hair. We just see you like that.
Yes, your name. We see your hand.
That's.
You can see me now?
Yeah, we see you.
Loud and we see you. Okay.
Yeah, it's possible. Liberia will come back to normalcy. To be honest, we can get tired, but when I say A, Lincoln will get angry, he will be agitated. You say, don't say God, don't say God. So obviously, I will frame the topic in another way. But to be honest, if we have somebody good, a good manager, Liberia deserves a manager right now. Politicians are not good for Liberia at this stage because they say things that they don't have no clue of. So at the end of the day, when you give them the power, they start telling the people, you give me chance. So we need somebody who is good manager who will be able to manage that country and Liberia will get back on her feet. You see, as I said, way back, nearly all the important schools used to have a meal for the children. When we go to school, they give out food there, they give out milk, they give out buckwheat weeds, all these kind of cooker weeds and things that we used to eat there. We used to have a lunch. Things were very normal. The record system you're talking about in Waterside, even when we were a kid, they used to have the kind of van that can be selling hard drink and things there, take away stuff and things there. It used to be to Waterside. I can remember in the 70, early 70 to 77, 78, you used to have it down there. If you come in the morning, you can buy your teas and coffees and things in from them. All tea and bread, everything 10 cents. You pay 10 cents, you got a thing and go. So,
Okay. So
Liberia were up to date, to be honest. Liberia were really, really up to date in the 70s.
But anyway, what I do know is that Liberia cannot be what it is, or what it was before, and what it is now because we are in a different age. So, Francis, what do you think? Are we going to be better, or are we going to go backward, or are we going to? Can we gain our past status?
Oh, definitely. I mean, listen. First, let me just do a little reflection on our song. Uh, you know, that song. My late grandmother, my paternal grandmother. Uh, she came from Maryland. She came help us. She was in Monroeville. So also, uh, I used to go to afternoon school at the time. St. Michael's had afternoon school. And she really take time. She really don't know. But that song was the song that she read. She was called Ball. The most school. I mean, gotta go to school now. Time to go to school. Yeah, you know. The only time that so yeah. But listen, uh, Liberia, we are all been under illusion that we were a great country. Liberia had never been. But on paper, Liberia has been great. Physically, Liberia was a dumb sight because we never travel. All the houses were still messed up. We were living back door to back door, no car road. The road was never paved. I mean, look, only few roads were paved. I mean, so it's an opportunity for us for Liberia to progress, move ahead. So I just not know to drag the topic. Liberia, there's a room for opportunity, a room for growth. All that thing talking about a long time, Liberia was so that people was never, people still drinking from the rain. There was no pipe bomb water around. People was still, I mean, so, people with that living that illusion that were great. The war exposed or went to places like Ivory Coast, where the villages saw light and water there, we were still struggling. So, yeah.
Okay, well, that was the library we had, and that, that was the people that were there at the time. But Paul, give you a brief thought about this thing. Whether we'll go back to that primitive time where we got to show the cup under the rainwater, and all these will pull out rain gauge to the zinc, and water can leave one place. You put a bucket and touching the phone.
They say every generation have their own way of saying that our generation was the best. And that time it was the best because that's what we have. So and because we are in a different era now, so Liberia cannot be like that time. We always have to progress to a new level. Look, today, back then, we used to play with two cans, cup, towel, rope to AC. We're using it as telephone. It wouldn't happen again. So now it's the case today they're using smartphone all over the place to communicate. So that era, it was time, it was respectful, that how we live. You went to school with bus straps and nobody would laugh at you. It was that time. But now we're in a different era, man. Technology have taken over. Remember at that time, we on this program were watching Space 1999. The prediction of what Space 1999 will be, and we sat down here. Space 1999 came, we saw it. We're in a different era, so Liberia can never be the same. It have to progress to a better level.
Very good, and I love the positivity, right, that we all see for Liberia, and this is why whenever we talk, people do not understand. People think we try to be hard on the past government or present government or government that was there way back. No, what we see, especially those of us that are travel, I will give you a short experience before we go to the show. I saw this assistant minister from Internal Affairs for I think rural development or Mark Zawate. He was saying I think he should be leaving Japan now. He was there and he was talking about Singapore, how Singapore is clean, you can't be drinking water or bottled water in the street because the tenants. So I said, but if this guy had not traveled to Singapore and he was staying in Liberia and somebody tells him that, oh no, we're not supposed to throw can, bottle or whatever dirt in the street, he will say no, because all he has seen is what he sees around him. I just came from Liberia 2 weeks ago, and what Francis was talking about, it reminded me. I went in the village and it was raining. So our little creek, the creek goes around the town like day. That creek we grew up in, man. We used to swim in that thing. Every boy in Gary man can swim. Because when that creek get full, man. So now he caught the farm road. So he get out of swim to go. So I saw the children swimming inside, but when I look at the color of the water, then I asked myself, can I swim in this water again? And the water looking dirty, and we should drink it, so now you see me, you drink some. So but that's a life. And the people living there in that village now, in my town, if you try to tell them that no, this is not good, no, it's normal for them. The children were in that water day and night. So, but we also hope to see on Liberia that will be comparable to other countries. But Paul, take us through on the first topic that we have to discuss tonight.
Yes, Linford, I think you have. Let's look at this issue regarding and the field coup in Benin. That Tinubu, Nigeria took action, and the question now is becoming trading that it was not based on his own decision, or based on Macron using his friend to go after another French colony. So we'll be looking at that. So that's what we're going to start the topic with that situation, and we'll look at why is the coups are now happening in West Africa in the 21st century. These are things that happen long. Why is it now repeating itself? Our leaders we need to find out whether our leaders are doing good or they're not doing good. Is that the reason why these coups are coming up? So those are the topics. So we can start with George Galloway. If he played the one that is there, let's see what George Galloway say about the field coup.
Okay. Thank you so much, Paul. And just before we go to George Galloway, let's be very fair to our viewers. Tumo Boniface Nelson is watching us, Mohammed M. Dablo, Aline Ogoe, my brother, and Eric Valentine Pine, Mohammed Famula Jr., and of course, Philip Kitty, our man, is watching. And so for those of you joining us the first time, this is important on Liberia discussions. We are here every day. So let's go over to that video and hear what George Galloway will say. And from there, we can start discussing.
As far as I'm concerned, the ECOWAS leaders are wasting their time. If they don't do the needful, they are just wasting.
I'm very sorry. I got a wrong video on this one.
Now, as this breaking news comes in, Jackson, a sixth bombing raid by foreign air forces on Little Benin and its beautiful capital city. Doesn't sound to me like the coup is over. What do you think?
Yes, this was a really shocking day. We woke up this morning with the news that there was a coup underway in the country of Benin, the coastal country of Benin, which is extremely important to the rest of the Sahel Alliance states, the AES states, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, because it would give them unimpeded access to a major port in the Sahel area. So this was shocking to me. I don't really know what to make of this coup that took place in the early morning hours, because sometimes these African coups take place, but it's actually the French that are backing these coups and they want to shift around the leaders. But it appears as though this was an entirely real sovereign effort led by the Lieutenant Colonel Tigri in Benin. And within a few short hours, we had the airwaves, the national TV broadcast airwaves, taken over by the coup leaders. There was about 13 men that led this effort, all of the military. And not too long after that, we received all of these French-based reports from AFP and other French outlets saying that the coup was over. And that was in the very early morning hours. Again, I want to stress that. That was a long time ago. They claimed the coup was over. Everyone had been arrested. Some people were even saying that these coup d'etat leaders had been killed in the clashes that were ongoing in the capital city. That turned out to be a bunch of lies because, as you just said, there were 6 airstrikes in the capital, at least 6 bombs that went off. Local sources are saying that it sounded quite clearly like airstrikes, and it would make sense because not only has there been a French surveillance aircraft above the capital city in Benin all day, but there were 3 Nigerian aircraft that entered into the country and were circling over the capital city during the time in which these loud explosions took place. I would presume that they were trying to locate and then target the coup leaders. Some were saying that these coup leaders were on the run. Again, some were saying they were arrested, and some of the other ones were on the run. What we do know is that the Lieutenant Colonel Tigri, who led the effort, was not arrested in the early morning hours. He made a statement late in the afternoon saying that he demanded the supporters of the coup to get out in the streets and protest against the French-backed president. And a lot of people did do that. So it's very, very disheartening to see that Nigeria is taking their dictates from a random white guy in Europe who has an approval rating of like 5% amongst his own population. And they're doing his bidding by now going and airstriking, presumably, innocent people that are just fighting for their sovereignty in another African nation. We also saw today that ECOWAS, which is an imperialist tool in Africa, and the African Union, another imperialist tool, both condemned this coup effort. But I fully stand by it, and I hope for the best. I hope that they make it out alive, and I hope that they are able to assert sovereignty in Benin once more.
Okay, guys, you heard. I'm just out of word. You heard what the guy said, and this is not one guy from Benin, one Benin citizen. No, this is a foreigner, and the two people, George Calloway and this guy, they don't live in Benin. They are not connected to Benin in any way by bloodline or whatever. But you heard what he said, especially the guy. He said that this coup, when it took place, it was clear that there were some explosions. And after that, there were French surveillance airplanes patrolling it the whole time, for the whole day. And in fact, in the early morning hours of the day, the French, the AFP, and all of French cables were carrying the news that the coup has failed. How did they know? How did France get to know about a coup in Benin? And how did that surveillance thing end up there? And what is the interest, guys? Let's start with Francis.
Look, that George Galloway guy, first of all, and the brother, I mean, I've been following them on social media, on YouTube. These guys are pro oligarchs. So they won't support coup in Africa to destabilize our democracy and have the Russians come in as well in Burkina Faso and the socialist kind of movement, communist movement in the region. The coup failed. The coup leader is in Togo, and the ECOWAS and the Benin government is seeking his extradition. So for me, I think the intervention was wise and timely. You want any change, go through the process of democracy, or if some other people popular or rising cannot use the power of the gun. So that's all I want to say.
But quickly, let me ask one question. So, are you saying that these guys were not saying the truth, or this particular guy, were not saying the truth, or is he just?
It's not saying the truth. It's propaganda.
Okay.
Trying to bring Macron and other people in the anti-French sentiments in the country, and they are all pro-Russian supporters. I see them on the podcast.
Okay. It seems like somebody will accuse the Badona of doing something else. But let's hear from you, Padoli.
Yeah, based on what I just heard from the gentlemen who were talking, it does not say, it did not make any statement that look relevant. The information he gave is not authentic information he gave. From my observation on he speak right now. So he's speculating right now about the coup situation. But what I do know, since the coup took place of the persons, we've been doing background investigations to know the integrations of that problem. We realize that the populations of that country did not give freedom to the coup. So that led the coup to fail. So before the foreign forces intervene to put the situation under control. So I don't have no information about the coup leader, where he is right now, like what Francis just said.
He's in Togo.
Francis said that he's in Togo. That's what he said. But I don't have any information on
Yeah,
that.
on the news to the BBC and all, man.
Oh, okay then. But I didn't listen to that. But what I do know, the coup already failed completely. The coup failed. The citizen did not give credence to the coup. That's what I know of.
Okay. Before I go to Paul, now listen. We all are agreeing on one thing, including the guy that we just heard, that there were intervention, foreign intervention first,
Exactly.
Yeah,
allegedly by the French, and then after that,
Nigeria. Mm.
yeah. So how did you, or how would you have expected the citizen, the ordinary citizen that did not have guns and whatever, to combat those foreign forces to support a coup that did not take ground? So how can you say that? How can you arrive at the conclusion that they did not support the coup? They may have supported the coup, but
Yeah,
because there were foreign intervention, people came
yeah.
ahead.
Listen to me. Listen to what I'm trying to say here. I'm saying when the coup take place like that, the citizens, the civilians will get on the street and jubilate immediately. One announcement is made by a coup leaders on the state radio. The inhabitants of the countries can just get on the street right away to jubilate in favor of the coup. That
It's not
is
always the case, because I will give you the example.
always, you
No, it's
already
not always the case.
you already case in many coup in
Yeah,
many
it's not always the case, or it's not even wise to do that. We saw this thing in our own country in 1985 when when they made an announcement, people jumping the street, and then when the thing turned around, what happened to those people? So people have learned lesson. So for us to conclude that because the people did not get in the street, these are just unanswered lessons. When the 1980 coup took place, the people knew that Togo was killed and the government was overthrown. Everybody saw it before people started. The first day of the coup, people did not get jumping the street until the next day. But then the mistake they made in 1985. So it's very difficult. It's very slippery to just stay on that ground that the people did not support the coup. That's why it failed. Even if the coup wanted to, how could they fight the foreign forces that came?
Yeah, can I bring something to your attention concerning about
Yeah, just explain what you have to say. Make it short so we'll go to Paul.
Yeah, I'm going to make it short so you can go to Paul. From my observation, from my understanding, my experience in terms of civilians getting on the street to jubilate, it's been happening in many cases. The one that he just said, you just talk about Kurumpa scenario, Kurumpa situation. People that get on the street to jubilate, those that get on the street to jubilate.
You were citizens.
He was a citizen. But majorities, that coup would look at it as a travel coup. It was just some kind of funny coup, Some travel sentiment was involved in that coup situation. So basically, it does not give more credence to the leadership. At the end of the day, they were not properly organized.
Okay.
That led to the fear of that coup.
Okay. Paul, this coup, as far as we know, it has failed. And we are hearing different accounts. And some of the accounts are that foreign forces intervene to quell the coup. And they neutralize the coup makers. And another account is that because the citizens did not get in the street, they did not welcome the coup, that's why it failed. Even though there were foreign forces with jet bomber and things around, but the citizens did not go in the street to demonstrate, and so the coup failed. What do you think? What do you think led to the failure of the coup?
Thank you, Linford. And let me correct Adoli on something. With the Kurumba invasion, I was living down Jalata, and those who took onto the street, they were not travel people. They were people that were just against Joe, that he had to go. So people came from everywhere. They were not travel people. They were just happy that they wanted to go out. So there were so many people. It had no travel thing behind it. If you see the coup leaders, if they had travel link, that's fine. But people who took onto the street that money, they were people from diverse community. So I just want to make that. I saw that right in the area when it took place that morning. But The coup here in Benin is because of French and Nigeria intervention. That's the bottom line of this. If Nigeria and France have not done anything today, that president will not be in office. It was foreign intervention. So the issue that George Galloway and the other guy raised, that the colonial master had used one of the puppet leaders in Africa to go after their own brothers. And that is also I don't know how this link with Russia, but these guys are making a point that this guy in France, because it's a French colony, he know what happened to Burkina Faso, he know what happened to Niger, he know what happened to Mali. So he didn't want that to happen to Benin. So he used another African to go after another African. And that's the bottom line of the whole thing. That's why the coup collapsed. So that's my take from listening to them. It's not like promoting, but they gave in the fact of what had happened.
Okay. So let's welcome Chadela, Frank Churupli, and also Samuel.
But listen, okay, go ahead after you. I mean, I just want to chime in before we go.
Yeah. But I'll just welcome some of our viewers. So as you join us, please help us to share the show. You can share the show. Just share it on your page, and you will have other friends joining. So, Francis, your final take on this, and then we'll move to the next.
No, but the thing is, nobody is alleged that the French special forces took part in the coup, but you have people from Ivory Coast, you have from Nigeria and some other African countries, according to the BBC report here, within that era. So I don't know how come even the French did that. It was good because we see that what happened around us here. Some of the coups and the wars, I mean, have led their countries into serious setbacks. So, and I was saying again that George Galloway guy is what advantage? Russian communist guy. You want to see Russian people, the Russian government, and the troops
that's just accusation. So
it's a fact.
But what the question I want to ask you. What advantage is it for France to come and intervene in another country's coup, military coup? I mean, it's not on French soil; it's on African soil. So, what advantage is it?
I mean,
how does it help France?
All the countries around the world, they are trying to protect the economy or the alliances. America does the same thing. Britain does the same thing. I mean, so what is the big deal if France, even if France were involved? This was a project by ECOWAS that went into that, to thwart that coup.
Okay. Anyway, you're right. We don't want to prolong on this thing, but when you talk about countries want to protect Nigeria with Boko Haram in their backyard, they cannot fight them. Great Britain is not going to go fight Boko Haram for Nigeria. But if a coup takes place, but Great Britain can come and dissolve the coup, but not Boko Haram. It doesn't make sense. But let's go to another video. Paul, can you give us the background to that video?
Well, the thing is, the other video is about the very ECOWAS leaders. What are they doing? And why is it that there's so many coups in recent time in West Africa? Are the leaders doing well for the people? Because if you're doing well, people wouldn't come after you. So that's the video. Let's listen to it and see what are they doing? Why are they going after them?
And whether they are really having effect on leadership in West Africa.
As far as I'm concerned, the ECOWAS leaders are wasting their time. If they don't do the needful, they are just wasting their time. Look, the world has moved on. The world has moved on and left us behind. If there is no good governance, people will grumble. Mr. Okoro, go and tell those ECOWAS leaders that if they don't entrench good governance in West Africa, even the very sand on the ground will rise up against them.
Barrister, is that not what they are doing?
What are they doing?
calling for responsible democracy.
Oh, yeah. So
yes, did you read the statement?
What they are calling? Oh, are they advancing themselves? This coup that they are carrying out against the people, are we not supposed to disagree with them? They are the ones that started the coup in the first place because of their leadership, because of what they are doing. Have they ever reprimanded any of their leaders who are behaving anyhow? Have they ever? Have you seen where ECOWAS leaders issue a statement and say, look, what is going in Nigeria? What is going on in Nigeria? What is going on in Cameroon? What is going on, that they denounce it? Have they ever done so? They will keep quiet until the damage has been done. They will now start telling us stories. This thing they are doing in West Africa, even in the Western world where they go and hide their loot, is it like that? Have you ever seen any leader in the Western world who changed the constitution to favor him? Have you ever seen it? Tell me.
But I read the communique, and I expect that you read it too, because in that communique, the leader said, look, it is time for us to uphold good governance. Because that is the only
Talking
way.
Is not enough, Mr. Okoro. They have said it before.
Okay, what else should they do?
They have done action. Let them put it in practice, and there will be no queen anywhere in West Africa. Let them put it in practice. Mr. Okoro, you have states that you are supposed to be controlling in West Africa as ECOWAS states. And then a foreign power is intimidating that particular state, taking their mineral resources, taking everything they have. And you, ECOWAS leader, you were there. Instead of you to say, no, this is not right, and then come to the aid of your member, you went to bed with them. What does that tell you? You went the way with your what? With your oppressor. Is that not why Niger and Burkina Faso walked out? Go and look at what France is doing to that country. And you ECOWAS leaders are there.
Okay, guys. This is a political analyst. His name is Darlington Agomo. And I think he's a Nigerian. I'm not too sure about his nationality. But he's a political analyst. You heard what he said. ECOWAS leaders, or even the AU leaders, but we take it on a regional level, ECOWAS, because we are in West Africa. These people, some of them have even gone to work and changed the constitution of their country to favor them to remain in power for long. And some of them will clamp down on their opposition in the country when they are in power. Some of them will endure elections. They will do all kinds of things. And we got 16 or 15 or 16 West African countries, right? And none of them will clamp down on or will talk against what their colleague is doing when they are in power. But when somebody comes to take over, then they say, oh no, it's not good. So they are protecting their hegemony, in my view. So Padre, you heard him there. The man said the oppressors will come. No ECOWAS leader will say no. Don't let the crew come. Nigeria got oil. Nigeria oil is being transported to wherever it can go. Then Nigeria turn around and buy the oil from them and bring it back to Nigeria. Can you imagine? That's oppression. Ivory Coast is the largest producer of coffee in West Africa. All the coffee go to Switzerland or wherever. They make chocolate there, then they bring it back to Ivory Coast. Nigeria get diamond. We get the Turkey people taking the diamond and carrying it. When one piece of small door diamond we come back to Liberia, we pay millions for it. So tell me, you heard this man, was he making sense? You are muted, you are muted.
Oh, on mute myself. Okay, listen, to be honest, what the gentleman said is a fact. You know, that is the recipe to that kind of uprisings. When the African leader manipulating the political system, he can cause the citizen to get angry and uprise against their sitting government. That is true, because it's happening. We have seen the evidence in Guinea, in Ivory Coast, and similar thing just happened in my country, Liberia, when the law was imposed. And all unscrupulous activity took place because they are in powers, and all this thing there is a recipe to what? Uprising. So what need to be done, the entire African continent citizens have to at least organize a system. Coup d'etat is it can bring the country backward, provided if someone good did not take over, who have the feeling for the country, he will always want to fill up his package when you overthrow. Then that will bring the country backward. But
Okay,
now,
let me ask you
now,
one
now
let me
the
ask
case,
you one
now the
question.
case with Burkina Faso right now, the president in Burkina Faso is an exception to all this military coup that have been taking place quite recently in our time. Because the young man has serious feeling for his country, he putting the country back on her feet. Burkina Faso,
Okay, let me ask you one question quickly.
yeah,
Let me ask you one question quickly, then I'll go to Paul or Francis. Now, you see, listen, the gentleman made a point that West African leaders will sit, they see the colonial powers influencing one leader that they love, that they can maneuver and get whatever they want. And no West African leader will talk against it. But when the citizens say, okay, we are tired, and one person is brave, or a few group of guys are brave and come and try to take over, then that same oppressor will come and start bumping there, and then we say, oh, the people they did not support the coup. So how do you relate what the gentleman just explained and you are supporting to the situation that happened in Benin?
the
Because I'm
benefit,
sure if the French have not allegedly come
yeah,
there to
yeah.
neutralize the coup
So,
will
so
succeed.
Leaford, let Fabio conclude on the before Fancy.
Yeah, let me just debunk that statement from the young man. The Benin situation, I want you to know, I want you to understand one thing. The man who the overthrowing, how long he been in power? Do you know that? Just an elected president quite recently, like his first time or second time in power.
It
They
doesn't
have
make
not,
it
they
doesn't
have
make
not
any difference. One day is
no,
enough.
no, no, listen to me. We are talking about those that tamper with the Constitution and to keep themselves in power and denying the people with the right, the Constitution, and ignoring the rule of regulations and etc. These are the people we're talking about. These are the things that can cause care in the country. People that
Okay,
not
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Patrick. Thank you very much. Let me go to Paul. But before I go to
people
Paul,
are not respecting the rule of law. These are the
yeah,
people
yeah,
that
but before I'm going to Paul now, but before I go to Paul,
yeah,
listen,
go on, Paul.
listen, I'll go to Paul. Before I go to Paul, I'll just say something so you can be thinking on it. Maybe you will make comment on it later on. So then I don't see any reason why opposition leaders or opposition parties, the ANC to which you belong, are even talking against President Bouakai when he talk about the length of time in office. So I want you to be thinking about it. Let me go to
I'm
Paul.
talking about
No. I'm not asking you
all
to talk
right,
about it now.
I
Paul,
will
let's go,
reserve,
Paul.
I will reserve the answer until you go around. You come back
Yeah,
to me,
Paul,
I will give you the
Paul, it's
answer.
your turn.
Yeah, I will give you the answer to you. You see
Oh,
what he knows in the rule of law.
Wait.
I will reserve it. I will reserve the answer.
Yeah, reserve it. Paul?
you know, I usually stay on this program without any fear that the ECOWAS leaders, they are good for nothing leaders. They don't mean well for the people of West Africa. And this is why you found out that 3 ECOWAS members walk out, say these people, they are puppets to their Western colonies. And Francis made it clear on the show, say if the colonial masters say they will protect their interests. So we stay in that slave mentality that Macron will take telephone and say, hey, Tinubu, can you do this? Do me a favor. But when Macron take telephone call and call, say, Germany, go and bomb England because they're doing X, Y, Z, it's only in Africa that we accept nonsense. And these are why the analysts are saying that if the West African leaders are doing something good, there'll be no coups. But these guys, they're not doing anything good. I will give example of my own country, Liberia. You got an 85-year-old man who come to power, promised to rescue the next, he start riding $1.1 million car. and his shoes is $850. He get cost. If people see that the old man can do this, they get angry. And these are African leaders. These are the people they call ECOWAS that don't want good governance. So how do you classify this? That what the guy is saying that it's the leader that said that create a condition until they start doing something good. There will be no coups. But these people, they come to power and they start doing something bad. Then you got a 35-year-old boy right in Burkina Faso who sees power and start doing something that the so-called people that we elect cannot do. So young people are seeing it. And this is why these guys are saying until the African leaders start doing what is right, there will be no coup. That's my stay on it.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to Francis, but before I go to Francis, I will just give an observation, which is, Padore asked it, Paul, you asked a question earlier on. Why is it that we are having many coups in West Africa? And I can promise you that there will be many more coups in West Africa if the trend that is going on will continue, because the world, like we said before, is evolving. We are not going to be, I don't think the Africans or West Africans will sit and be spectators and watch some people who are bent on corruption and just be doing what they can do because they are elected or because they are president. No. And so I can promise you that the circle will go around, because once it starts one place, it will go around. All the people are seeing it. It's next to Guinea, it went to Mali, it went to Benin, they failed in Benin, it went to Burkina Faso, it succeeded, Mali, it succeeded. So at least
Guinea-Bissau. They say Guinea-Bissau.
So few countries are watching it. And if the leaders are not going to do what they are supposed to do, that circle will be completed. Francis, your take.
Look, the political analyst on that podcast, he was over dramatic. He was trying to portray the West African leaders as people who do not care about the people, who are just bent on fending for themselves and not, correcting the ills or pointing out the ills in the other countries.
So, in your view, all the guys in West Africa, the 16 countries, the leaders have decided the coup once, because the ones that have done coup and remove them. So let's take about 12 of them. They are doing excellently well. That nothing should happen, or nobody should even vote against them.
No, there are a lot of shortcomings in the country, in the countries. I can point out one or two countries that let's say Ivory Coast were right there. Alassane Ouattara, who was one of the favorite, during his heydays, young, he had taken the world by surprise, taking us aback. We supported him, and he's, infrastructurally doing well, but in governance, he's not actually doing well. Changing the constitution, go to other African countries, like probably the Gabon and other places. The leaders are young. The leader that is young, he has his own problem as well. Liberia is a perfect country. It has its own problem right now. The leadership is in good time, doing what it's supposed to do. So the opposition was there 2029. Seldom is doing well. Yeah, but what I'm saying in sort of, look, you cannot categorically say all West ECOWAS leaders are not doing well. And ECOWAS has stepped up their commitment.
I don't think he said they are not doing well. What he said, he specifically spoke about the coup. The discussion they had was about the coup.
Yeah.
What he said was that if these people are doing well, there will not be any coup. And then secondly, if they were condemning what will make people to make coup, then there will not be any coup, because in any case, okay, I'm president of Liberia. My next door neighbor, Alassane Ouattara, have gone and changed the constitution. But I'm president of Liberia, I remain mute. I don't talk anything about it. But the day they want to make coup against Alassane Ouattara for changing the constitution to keep himself in power, then I get up, I say I'm ECOWAS member, and we go to have a meeting to start those people. That's what you're talking about.
So I agree, Linford. There's no perfect leadership. So there will always in the best democracies around the world, the opposition who just will go through the straw, go through the camel's eye to find fault, and use that as a springboard against your government. So although there are flaws, there are shortfalls, but it does not necessitate that you have a coup d'etat.
Okay. Anyway, it justifies me because if I'm president of Liberia and people are doing things to suppress the rest of the people, and people have tried to get me off, they can't get me off. So there is no recipe because the only recipe is elections. Elections have failed when it comes. Okay, like what happened in this country where the lady is president for. Okay, and what is happening?
Tanzania.
Yeah,
Tanzania.
and also what happened in Museveni's country. We probably won 2 different times. The ball can win. You can see the population, but he can win. So you see, these are the things that we're talking about. Because I agree that no 100% good leadership, but when you are doing it glaringly, that people see that you are suppressing them, then this kind of thing happen. Also, Padoli, I want you on your statement. I have not forgotten on your statement that this man that they tried to overthrow was just in power for less than 2 years, and they want
I would say less than 2 years. I didn't say
okay.
I
How long do you think?
110 or 210.
No, he is second term. He should be
Okay,
second term. Any
you
April.
know how long is that term of office for them?
Basically, their term of office is 5 years.
Okay, 5 years. So you go for if it's second 5 years, we should make it 10 years. So, but the question is, don't you think within that 10 years, he had done things that people will want to remove him for? Or are you looking at that sense he has not been there for long, so he should continue to do what he's doing? Because I believe that one day it's even enough. If I'm a bad leader, I come to the country, I start doing something bad from day one.
Yeah,
that's what I'll continue to do for the rest of my term. So
thank you very much.
How can you? I ask a question, you. How can you reconcile your statement or your justification to President Bwaka, who is just there for 2 years now, and all the opposition people, the ANC, of which you are part, they are all talking against him. Even our political leader said nothing has happened since this. So how can you justify that statement?
Thank you very much. You know the reason why I came up with that statement is this. The speaker, the guy who just spoke, that political analyst, said if the African leader, the West African leader, are doing a good thing, if they are doing the right thing, they're not manipulating the constitution to change the constitution to give their say or many things, will not make the people to overthrow. They will not encourage people to overthrow. It's one of the
that was not the only thing he said, though.
Yeah, that was not the only thing. Listen to me. That is one of the elements that he stated on that causing the coup d'etat in the country. Because the typical example is Ivory Coast and Guinea. The Guinea president does not succeed in Umbolega removing. Ivory Coast managed to succeed with the help of the French government. The French government continued to back him up because they got a lot of investment in Ivory Coast. So they could not overthrow him. So basically, these are some elements that constituting the people to overthrow because the coup leader will come up with a statement that people will embrace to say, yes, we're supporting you for taking your action. That can be rampant corruption, like what the old man is doing in our country right now. He said he's going to ride wheelbarrow, but now he's riding 1.2 million car, and also he knows in all the rule of regulation of our country, the law. He condemned.
But he's been there for only 2 years. So
he can be there for even 1 day. So
but he sees a justification.
Listen to me now. Listen to what I'm trying to say here. I'm not supporting France instigating Nigeria to go to Benin. Togo. Benin to carry on whatever they're doing. No, I'm not saying that. I am saying, based on information I got on the Benin coup issue, they say the citizen did not embrace the coup.
No, we understand that.
Yeah.
The question
Okay.
I asked you,
So
the
the
statement
question
you
you
made,
asking, you say,
people will understand you. People will understand you to me that this man had not been there for long, so there was no reason for the coup to take place.
no, it's not the case. The reason why the coup failed in Benin, from the information I'm getting, the citizens that the people were overthrowing for, they were not in favor. Like our case in Liberia. Right now, anybody say the moving Omer Barker, the citizens that are not even complaining about what Omer Barker is doing to them. And we know fully well that what Omer Barker is doing to the country is diminishing the country. He damaging the country economic system. He carry on some lawless activities in the country. We all know
Thank
that.
you very much.
But people jump right now to say, okay, we're removing Mr. Barker from there because he's not respecting the rule of law. And the citizens say, no, we're not supporting you. Definitely, the coup d'etat will not succeed. That's what I'm talking.
Right. So,
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So, Padoli agree with the analyst that if African leaders are doing the right thing, there will be no coup.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah. So because they're not doing the right thing, so people go after them.
Yeah. See, there is a parable.
I did not deny that. But in your country, I'm not cutting you off, Mr. Linford. In your country right now, your Omer Barker is not doing nothing good. But the citizens there, they're not even making no noise. Those are supposed to put the government feet to fire. They are not even saying anything. American man come from Ken Suffering right now. He said, okay, in fact, I take over today. The citizens say, no, we don't want you.
Okay.
You think you will succeed? No.
Thank you so much. But I think they take away.
But Tori, you can come for retirement. Police people can do. They go over to so go try.
I mean, look at the trouble. Look at the
they take away from the entire interview or from what Mr. Agomo said, that political analyst said. For me, the entire takeaway is that if the West African leaders are doing well by their people, I don't think there's any need, because what everybody wants is stability, good economy, jobs, and all these things. So if you are enjoying that, you not want war, you not want coup, nothing. But if you are not getting it, if you're not getting anything, you're suffering. So what is the difference between your daily suffering, where you can't eat, and bringing war or making a coup? It's the same. So people will say, well, that's you say you die. So what's the difference? You die. So when they say, "I'll call your true," you say, "Yeah, I agree. I'll call my true one time."
Yeah, actually, one simple
and they say, there's this parable that says, if you don't want a cat to eat a fish, then tell a fish not to smell.
Not to be smelled.
Yeah. So
let me ask you one
question. They don't want coup. Let it begin to advise their friends.
Yeah.
Do not change your constitution. Do not do this.
Let me ask you one simple question, Linford. About Benin issue. What information do you really get on the ruling establishment right now in Benin? As a journalist.
I'm now a Benin, and I have not been to Benin.
No, a journalist.
Hey, ask me. Let me answer now. Hey, ask me. Let me answer. I don't follow them. I don't know anything about them. The only information I got is what we're discussing here. We all got it right here. And that's why. So I'm not discussing anything extra than what we are discussing right here or what we heard. So that's the only information I got. So let's move on to the next video. Paul, this next video is about the former president. I don't know whether he's deceased, whether he's dead already, but the former president of Uruguay. And you know a little more about him. Can you just lay the premise so we can roll it?
Oh, that's true. This is about President Jose Manuel, who served the people of Uruguay, and he was classified to be one of the poorest presidents, but not corrupt at all. And the thing is, the reason why we're going to play this video, we just talk about West African leaders, ECOWAS, that's not doing the right thing. That's why they overthrew them. So this old man the video we're going to play, he's going to teach us why it says when you serve your people, they become so happy with you. That's why we're going to play this to reflect on what is happening in West Africa. We have in Liberia, I will give an example of my own country. You got an 80-year-old man who become very flamboyant, like he in his 30s, that he could have done something in 2 years that people say, oh yeah, this old man, he have set a history. But so that make the comparison to the old leaders that we classify. Why is it when it comes to leadership, what they're supposed to do? Wrote a tape for us. Let's listen to it. There's a BBC recording anyway.
Yeah, and I was in a conversation with some people, and somebody said it was good that President Waka was not in his 30s or his 40s to become president because he would have changed the constitution to remain there forever.
Exactly.
God can do everything for the best, but let's roll the video and listen.
Yeah.
Jose Mujica is a real handyman about the house. He's not a man that enjoys a life of luxury, and most of the time is accompanied by his loyalist friend, Manuela, a three-legged dog. But Jose Mujica is also the president of Uruguay and has been dubbed by the international media as the poorest president in the world. This is the house of the president of Uruguay. It is located just outside the capital of the country, Montevideo, in this rural area just next to small farmers. This is a place that contrasts so much that it is only guarded by these two police officers who are just outside the house. This is quite a contrast from the lifestyle of many world leaders. The BBC was granted rare access to the president's residence.
They say I am the poor president. No, I am not a poor president. Poor people are those who always want more and more. Those who never have enough of anything. Those are the poor, because they are in a never-ending cycle and they won't ever have enough time in their lives. I choose this austere lifestyle. I choose not to have too many belongings, so I have time to live how I want to live.
In President Mujica's latest official declaration of wealth, he says he owns just 2 vehicles, a small amount of property and his farmhouse. He also donates 90% of the salary, $12,000 a month, to charity. His car is one of his most valued possessions.
I may appear to be an eccentric old man, but do allow me to express myself. When world leaders talk about sustainable development, what is that growth based on? It's based on pushing people into mass consumption, but then you face an economic crisis like the one we see today.
And of course, all of these videos that we are rolling are not the work of the Bottom Line Liberians who want to give credit to those people who have made those videos. And this one, the latest one about President Jose Mujica, is by the BBC. And we saw the BBC commentator who interviewed him. And so this one, nobody's making it up. But this is a president that got 2 police people guarding him. And you can see that he lives in a very relaxed area in a house that even me, I cannot own. Because if I'm even assistant minister, I will build a better house than that. But this is a president. And I guess he built a house before he became president. And we also, unless somebody want to argue that when they were ready to do the interview, the old man went to a different place to do it. But I want to believe that that's his house. So, did you see any threat? Did you see any fence around your house? Did you see anybody wanting to overthrow such a man like that? Paul, let me start with you.
Linford, thank you for that. You see, if you do the right thing for people, you have no fear. You sleep with peace of mind, with ease, because you're doing the right thing. If you're not doing the right thing for the people, you don't want to build a fence around your place and then have 10,000 people as your bodyguard. So this old man have shown us that if you do the right thing, you don't need people to, because your own people will become your security because you're doing the right thing for them. This is why he's showing us at a very old age. What else do I have to lose? I'm not a 20-year-old child. Let me do the right thing for my people. I only need 2 police officers just because I'm president. Think on it. But my country, Liberia, when the president comes with a convoy, it's about 20 cars with all of this security. Why you need all of those things? If you're doing the right thing, you will not need that. In England here, when the king is traveling, he got one police motorcycle, one in front and one behind, two other cars with him. That's it. So and there's no siren. So the motorcycle will go in front when it gets to a traffic light. They will stop the flow of traffic for the king to pass, and then the other motorcycle will go over. No woo 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 woo. But in Liberia, it's the opposite. So if you're doing the right thing, you not need all of that. So this guy is educating our leaders that do the right thing and you sleep with ease. That's my take on it.
Francis, you think this old man? I don't know, because you described the first political analyst as overrating the discussion. So what do you think this old man was doing? Was he underrating the presidency or what?
No, the first of no, he wasn't. I think he literally put the presidency at a status of disrepute, dishonored the presidency in a sense. Looking at the individual himself, he's a former co-leader, a former rebel as well. He fought. He was part of the rebel group. You know, the Korean movement. You know, they call themselves Korean movement. And later they did not say that he owned a flower company as well. Flowers. He used to sell flowers. So he has a good amount of money, but due to this philosophy that he ascribed to during the Korean movement, which was socialism, communism, so he had to stick to it. So he was in a sense he was forced by nature, by himself, to live that lifestyle, because if he had done anything contrary to that, people who have said you will look at him differently. So you muted.
You muted.
You muted.
Yeah, okay, sorry. So let me ask you this question before you learn. You are using the word he was forced by nature. Are you convinced that he was forced, or was he convinced of his belief? Because the reason I'm asking you is that there are many people, most of them military leaders, who come and overthrow and say, "No, listen, what this government is doing, that's why we overthrew them." And we are just overthrowing to make things better, and then we'll return the country to civilian rule. When time comes, those same people who kill somebody for doing the wrong thing will now turn around and become even worse. So, are you saying that this man was forced, or he was just convinced of his belief?
I said forced not in a negative sense, in context that when he was capitalist, he did not see capitalism as a way of life, because the only reason why they went into the bush as Korean movement to topple the government at the time, because they felt that he felt and his group felt that they were wasteful, and their people were accruing a lot of material things. So it will be like what you preach that while you're fighting, then you become president, you want to do something else. So he's tried to stick to what he,
So in other words, to make it short, this was a very good leader.
I mean, that's one side of the story we see about him. I don't know about the other side.
Yeah.
So we have to do our good research.
The reason I'm sticking to that side of the story I see is that there was no threat against this man, because he was doing the right thing. Okay, he believed that the communist or the communist style of living was good, that everybody should have fair share. One person should not have all, and so the people believe in him, and there was no threat.
Well, he actually during his administration that Uruguay actually from I think 2010 to 2015, where the Uruguayan economy actually pick up.
Okay, so you see, he was a good. Why he was a good leader?
He was a good leader. Yeah,
despite his age, despite his his ideology. He was a good leader. That's why nobody want to overthrow him. Where you're living, if you want to overthrow him, just go and bring out door. You can push out door, open 2 policemen, 4 men can overthrow him if they wanted to. But there was no reason to do that as compared to our West African leaders. Okay, Padori.
Yeah.
Let me hear your take.
Thank you very much. You know what happened? For this man, like you just showed his video, is an extraordinary human being. And what I saw in him from this video is a trustworthy person. Somebody who says something and he lives by it is the kind of person. You know, like the old man we have today in Liberia who say, I can wear wheelbarrow, you want to wear and buy $1.2 million worth of car. You know, he's not an old man who we have today who said that I'm coming to rescue people. Now he's bidding $10 million property in Foya, where when he's not in power, he can't able to maintain it or return to grass. You see, look, when you are a leader, when you are an elder, you should be a trustworthy. That repetition will protect you. Even you go among people, you'll be playing chocolate with your community people, nobody will have anything against you. The way he lives with the people. But when you lie to the people and start to use them, when people begin to know that you are a liar, you are a traitor, they will hate you. So, for that old man, he's an extraordinary human being, to be very frank. I give him all credit.
Can you tell Linford?
Yes, sorry, I'll continue to mute myself because there is this small noise from my background. Well, if you just joining us, want to say thank you for being here. This is the Bottom Line Liberia discussions. Francis Mensah is from Sweden. Padol is from Manchester. Paul the Lodge is from London, and I am from the Royal Kingdom of Norway. We haven't much snow. That's the only news I can give you guys. But we're going to be transitioning to Mama Liberia, and this is interesting. But before we do that, we'll take a quick break, and when we are back, then we go to Mama Liberia.
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. Your spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
You are watching the review of Liberian newspapers' headlines that made news during the week on the Bottom Line Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us. If you're here for the first time, my name is Linford Paul Elochukle, and Francis Mensah and Padori. We are all here together to bring you with much needed information. Now we'll transition to Liberia. Liberia has been struggling with the use of drugs, which is prevalent, and it has become a pandemic among our youthful population. In the past years, from the past administration up to now, there has been this influx of drugs, different types, different shape, different blends, and this country has suffered a lot. And there has been this effort, and this is one of the main things that the Unity Party government came to power on, that they're going to fight the drug pandemic. And the fight is on, and nobody, absolutely not in my time that I've been living, even the great United States, had never won the war on drugs. They have done everything to close their borders. They got helicopters patrolling the Mexican border and all the other countries. They have even gone to South America and arrested some of their citizens and brought them to America and jailed them. Still, the drug still goes. And so the fight on drugs, nobody in their right mind would think that you can win it right away. What you can do is you can minimize it, the use of it, the transportation of it, and the selling of it, and the distribution of it, all going to work. But in Liberia, or country that is affected or that was affected by war and is economically down at the moment, we are trying to come out, we are losing our youthful generation to drugs. And so the government of President Bouaka is keeping its promise to fight the war on drugs. We've seen 3 administrations come and gone into 2 years at the LDEA, and the current administration is doing well. They have been arresting some people. For me, I will be frank that if the government is doing something good, we stop it. They have been arresting some people. But the question that I have to ask is, what has been happening to those people that they are arresting? Are they only arresting them because they want to make public show or they want to gain public sentiment? That's another discussion for another time. But today we saw that a prominent Liberian musician, I don't know his actual name, but his artist name is Bucky Raw. He was earlier on visited this morning by officers from the LDEA, that's the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, and there were several officers that I saw in several videos that I saw, and they stormed his house, and they were able to carry out some inspection. According to them, and according to the video that I saw, there was a court warrant to do that because the sheriff was there, and according to them, they found some evidence or they did actually seize some contraband, that is narcotic, some form of drugs. I don't know what it was. And Bucky Raw was subsequently handcuffed. And then later on, the handcuff was removed from what I saw. And then he was taken in a pickup, in the back of a pickup truck, along with DEA officers to the police station. And that's how far I stopped with the video because I was at work. So I didn't know what happened afterwards. But this evening, I received on my page, on my Facebook page, a release that is supposedly supposed to be from Bucky Raw, the accused. So my question is, was he acquitted because he didn't do anything wrong, or didn't the DEA see the need to detain him, or is it that he was acquitted because he's a musician? So guys, I want us to all share what we have seen rather, what we have seen about this video or about this Bucky Raw, what we have heard about his arrest. Let us all share. Like I said, I've not been following it except for what I saw on Facebook. So I want to start with Francis. Francis, have you heard about Bucky Raw's arrest today? And by the way, he's supposed to have a show tonight, and I think the show is going on. But let me just hear your view on what you heard today.
No, honestly, I've not heard anything in that regards. I did not see it, but the individual himself has a history of, drug related, issues that, he was deported from America and stuff like that, so uh, it's sad that, he will be, taken the custody and, allowed to go just like that without, spending 72 hours in custody or whatever, but sometimes the law has one eye instead of having two eyes. It's upon who you are. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
Okay. Padore, do you know anything about Bucky Raw, and have you heard anything about him today?
Yeah, I do. Apart from the video, that circulates in the social media, I heard some information from individuals and stuff and things in connection with the arrest of this gentleman and release and subsequent release of him. He released him today. He didn't stay in jail. They let him go. And some of the evidence that were collected on the scene, it was a handful of narcotics that was confiscated from on the scene. But I didn't get the information I did not really get is whether he was collected from his possession or people that living with him in their possession or what. I didn't get that clarity. But I do heard that he was arrested and taken to with a handful of narcotics to the station and later on let him go. So
Okay.
that happened.
Paul, do you have any update? I mean, apart from he being out now, and somebody saying that the investigations are still going on, but he's outside. The case is not at all. I'm not sure whether I don't know whether he will released on bail. That will be coming up maybe in subsequent hours. But I'm sure that he is out, and there's a release from him that I will read on. I'll display on the screen here later on. But Paul, do you have any update?
Sorry, guys. No, I only watched the video today, so I don't even know whether he have been released. But I've been hearing, it have been alleged, rumors been going around that Bucky Raw meant to have a program today, and there's I think a Ghanaian or a Nigerian artist who is also due in Morocco tonight, but will be performing tomorrow. And the organizer of this program thought that Walking Round show tonight will overshadow this guy that is coming in. So somebody is saying it been alleged is the reason why, because we all know Bucky Round was deported based on his past activity, and he's a drugs user in a way, and the kind of drugs that he used could be marijuana and something. But they went for him, it had been alleged. It's the reason why the DEA went for him. It's a tip off to get him into prison, not to have a show today. That's the speculation that is going on. So until we can see, we can hear from him himself, then we know what is going on. So I want to watch the video.
Okay. And I watched a video. There were several videos from several stations, but this one from Blaze TV. The journalist actually, in fact, I'm not going to call about journalist this and that. He's just on something else. But he actually followed them into the room. And even though you were asking some unnecessary questions and making some unnecessary comments, but at least the video was what I was interested in. And Bucky Raw, actually admitted that he uses drugs when he's going. I don't know what about drug though, but when he's going to perform to inspire, that was the word he used, to inspire him. And so he told the DEA guy, if he's using the word, if you find anything here that was for my personal use that I use to go take or to go do my performance. But the DEA officers did not actually on camera say what about drug it was, whether it was marijuana or whether it was kush or it was the one they call spark and die or whatever. But like somebody said, the investigations are still going on. But I'm going to display, I'm going to read for you a statement that is allegedly from Bucky Raw himself after his release. And I don't know how clear it will be on the screen, but I will try to read it so we can get it, we all can listen to it. Do you see it? I know it's okay. And this is from the closing argument. It says, closing argument. That was about 5 hours ago. It said, Bucky Raw writes, minutes after sources within the LDEA confirm his release. So sources from the LDEA have already confirmed it according to closing argument here. You see, and this is in quotation, meaning this is Bucky Raw talking. You see, in the past hours, a video has been circulating on social media of agents from the LDEA entering my home during a live stream. Since then, false stories and misleading narratives have been spread, suggesting I am involved. He, Bucky Raw, is involved in drug activity. Let me be very clear. These allegations are false, intentionally misleading, and pushed by individuals who have been trying to undermine me and my event.
Okay.
It is no secret that my name and brand have been a target in this industry. For years, certain people have gone out of their way to tear me down, distract my supporters, and create noise around any major move I make. Yesterday was no different, especially in my show schedule, or especially with my show schedule for today. Liberia continues to face a deep struggle with drugs and substance abuse, and I have used my platform and voice and image to support the fight against it. Yet, despite my growth, there are still those who choose to judge me by a past I have already walked away from. As the songwriter said, ever since I changed my life, it is the old character that they judge me by. Uh, I want the public to hear this directly from me. I am not involved in any illegal drug activity. Any Anyone spreading these claims is doing so with bad intention and personal agenda. My supporters know my character. They know my journey. Let me go down a little bit. Okay, they know my journey. They know my truth. To the media, do your jobs, but please do not add unnecessary weight to my life by amplifying unverified narratives. The truth is right here. Thank you to everyone for standing with me. Your support means everything, especially in moments like this. I am still, I am still moving, still focused. As for the show, that is the show tonight. It's happening tonight. Nothing will stop it. That was the statement from him. And so,
Yeah, but I just want to say good night, guys, and thanks for the show. And we'll see
okay,
you on
thank you
Tuesday.
so much. Thank you so much, Francis. And we
Yeah.
hope to see you on Tuesday. But so it is true. It is true that Pocky Raw is out. The conditions under which he's out is what I personally do not know. Whether he's out on bail or whether he was not found guilty, or whether they say, okay, go, but we'll still investigate, or whether the substances that is found with him are not sufficient enough to make him be detained. We don't know yet until until the details come out tomorrow. We'll see it. But there are speculations that, oh yeah, this is Liberia because they made a good star, so they're putting him outside. What do you say about that, Paul?
Well, the thing is, that's another thing. When you're a superstar in Liberia, I don't think you can spend on that in prison. So you remember there are two persons I can't remember the name, a lady and a male. They were caught with serious drugs, but today there's nothing because of their connection. They've been let out. So that was saying, so it depends on what they caught him with. So it could be that's why the people are just speculating until DEA come up with something. The reason why they went for him, it could be, look, this guy, he's a drug user, and everybody knew in the town that he uses drugs. So maybe the quantity they caught with him were not sufficient enough to say, oh, we cannot keep this guy in jail. Is that if you catch me with marijuana, for example, they will call it, those are illegal drugs, but then they gave you warning for having small quantity. So the next time you are caught, you bear the full weight of the law. So it could be in that case. That's it. Until we get the full investigation from DEA.
Okay, Padore, you are ex-security man, so maybe there are some instances where you use security to arrest somebody and then decide not to keep them because you don't think that you should establish case against them. What do you say about that?
At the time, I was in the police force, working in the Liberian national security sector. People with a matter warrant, more especially of low quantities, like a handful, that I saw today on the social media, was someone who using this as a personal use. Normally don't keep the people in jail. We give them zero warning and let them go. And also tell them that we're going to keep serving on you. Catch you selling this thing here or doing a drug dealing, you will be picked up and prosecuted. Maybe that could be the, but because the new law that was made during Georgia administration, I learned that anybody caught with drug, you will not be bailable. You will feed the full way of the law. And if someone is caught even small quantity or big quantity or whatever, you will be prosecuted according to the law that was passed during George Weah administration. If it does stay existing, and this man were arrested and something was found in their possession, whether in hand or maybe in somebody living within there, and they having to release him. I don't know why they release him for until the DA can come up to explain to the public why this man were arrested and taken to the police to the station and later on released. So we cannot say anything much. But the little one that I know about the narcotics investigations, rule of law, that was it during the time we were in the police for normal day. We need to prosecute people, the dealer, not the user. People that are using it can be arrested and warned them. The only way we can detain them when they misbehave. They take it and behave disorderly on the street, then they can be arrested for public safety. So that's all I can tell you about this thing here. But
okay. So as it stands, none of us knows probably because mostly we go on the internet to get information, or we follow the website of the authorities to get information. But as it stands, none of us, or not, at least not me, can give any reason why he was released. I'm sure in subsequent hours they will come up with the information. But the fact is that he's not in jail presently, and he said his show was going to go on. So I don't know whether his show is going on. There's a particular email I can check to know whether his show is going on. I'm still checking. I haven't seen any information. But whatever the case is, the fight against drugs is on. But the sincerity and the fairness and sincerity will be the word. Because if you can arrest John Brown and take them to court and probably send them to Saltbeach, and then you arrest Mary Peter, and then you let Mary Peter go. So people will begin to question your sincerity. People will begin to question the seriousness of your war on drugs and all this stuff. So all we can do is to make sure or sit and watch how the events develop and what the government is going to do. So guys, on this note, I just want to ask you guys to give us your final take on this program tonight. What did you take home, Padoli, from all that discussing?
Tonight, topic was unique one that I know of. Even though we agree with issues, sometimes we disagree with one another, but nevertheless, we are serving the best way we can, because we are human. People see things from different perspectives. So, but the bottom line, what I do know of my top show that you and I performing on every Friday and Tuesday, we not here to sugarcoat. We are not here to fabricate any story. The way we see it, that's how we tell you. We want you to believe what we're telling you, or to disbelieve what we're saying. Tonight was a very good show. And our brother Francis have just left out. Wishing him all the best to meet him next week, Tuesday. Thank you very much, Mr. Chulople, for being here tonight, and Mr. Linford. Have a lovely night. Extend my greeting to your families. Have a lovely night. Thank you. I'll see you all tomorrow, next week, Tuesday.
Thank you, sir. Paul.
Yeah, Linford, thanks to the panelists here. We had a very interesting program tonight, and my take from this was the former president of Uruguay. I mean, he just summarized everything that we discussed tonight, how to be a good leader. If you are good leaders, nobody going to come after you. Like Padori said in one of his statements that for Liberia, the old man promised that he didn't want to drive any kind of big car, even wheelbarrow could carry him to work. Then all of the blue, he started riding $1.1 million car. So that kind of insincerity, that's the one that people don't like. And these are things that when people do, it get people angry, especially when there is no jobs for people. This is why people take laws into their hands and say, look, we're going to remove this person. It's not good for us. So yeah, so the former president summarized how to be a good leader and do the right thing. And those journalists also made the promise that if the leaders are doing well in West Africa, there'll be no coup. So it's a message to them. Instead of running to the colonial master for help, they just need to do the right thing. So that's how I see it. I think it was a great show tonight. I want to say thanks to our audience for being with us, and all the comments we're looking at, we've been reading it. It's good that you're here. We're back here on Tuesday next week. If something comes up during the weekend, we may pop in, but definitely our time is Tuesday and Friday. I would say it was pleasant, good show, and I want to say good night to our audience. Linford?
Okay, thank you so much, and I want to join you in saying that it was a good show. We did just what we could. No man can do better than he knows, so that's the best we could do for now. And this is what we usually do. We talk, we give our own point of view concerning the issue, and we all have diverse views on the issue, and that's what makes it unique. I don't think the way you think, and nobody can tell us how to think. And like I said, let me give a disclaimer for all of the videos we did show. They are not our making. They are from different sources, and want to credit those sources. And also, my takeaway from the entire show is that I will just put it in a little parable. The fish we get, we don't want a cattle eat a fish. So let's keep a fish dry so it can smell, because when it smells, the cat will come for it. So you West African leaders, and I want to join that political analyst, Agomo, that if you do the right thing, nobody, let me tell you, look, listen, I don't see any reason why somebody is working, you're going to work, you're taking good pay, your children are in good school, everything is okay, then you want to go for a war or you want to go overthrow. Then you're damaging your own interest. Okay. So if the people are suffering, that's when these kind of things can happen. So African leaders, especially West African leaders, you'll do the right thing. 18 year that government job, you can't stay there forever and ever. It's not your property, it's not your farm, it's not your inheritance. But if you want to make it your inheritance, somebody else will tell you that no, this is for every one of us, and they want to check it from you, put it in the Liberian way. You go talking to Liberians. If you're moving from your ear, and you'll say, oh, some colonial, and not only time the colonial master will be active, maybe before the colonial master can you gone. If you look at they miss you, then the colonial master call you, you answer and say, oh, it's the same guy. But when it happened, the colonial master call, no reply. He said, no, we can't go waste time everybody. So, but on a serious note, Paul,
yeah,
if West Africa will be good, we need a new breed of leadership. Trust me, not these people that we got there now. Because all these people come from the same school of thought, except for a few of them. The Ghanaian president is doing well, okay? The young boy that they elected in Senegal is doing well somehow, based on his experience, because he had not been a politician before. But all the political crooks that say they get 1,000 years of experience, the only experience that they got is to do what they have seen in the past. So if we keep these people, we're all going to have problems in West Africa. We need new breed of leadership, and it doesn't have to come through coup d'etats. It can come through election. So the voters, think, love yourself first. The first law of preservation, the first law of nature is self-preservation. Do not say, I let John Brown. So as long as John Brown is president, even if I'm suffering, no problem, but I leave John Brown there. No. You should be enjoying the same way John Brown enjoying. Thank you very much for tonight. And we want to take you home with this song by this very young artist. I like her. And I wish we can promote her as Liberian so that she can go further.
Clappy ENT, baby. Give me that. Give me that. To my baby. Boy, give me that. Give me that. We get swagger, we get dresser, we get Scooby-Doo. We get Casabonne like Jackie Foam. We get Palopo, we get Slick when we get BBQ. If you say you grown up, I say I grown up too. For anything like open while I flag and die inside. So Jebby there, you Jebby talking plenty. If you feel you're not enough, then you want photocopy. Boy, you and your grown up man, it can make me scary. Lying for ya, boy, lying for ya. If you feel you more than me, then lying for ya. Lying for ya. Lying for ya.